Hello everyone, welcome to Ajiro Tech. Ajiro Tech. In this video, we're going to be looking at the Cambridge IGCSE ICT, which means Information and Communication Technology, with the course code 0417, variant 02. And we're looking at paper 2 databases in this video. October, November 2024, and this was a paper that was released few hours ago as of the time of this recording. Duration of the whole paper is 2 hours 15 minutes. The instructions are very important. Okay, so please go to the instruction. Total mark for this paper is 70. And I have my slide right here because I'm going to be teaching you databases. Okay. All right. Are you excited? I'm excited. I know you're excited as well. You have been supplied with the following source files. For paper 2, they create the evidence document for you. Okay, so since this is the first one, we'll probably just start with this tax 1 evidence. Open the file N2402 evidence. So I'm going to open it. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to extract, right click, and then you can click on extract all, or you click here, come here to extract all. Okay, so done. Then I can close this, come here, open this, and then open the evidence document. All right, enable editing. Now the first thing is make sure your name, center number, kind of number will appear on every page of this document. Now to do this, I'm going to click on insert. On the header, I have 3 columns, which is always a template for us in Ajiro Tech because I want to show you the 3 alignment. So I have the left alignment, center alignment, and right alignment. So it's always important to put every of them in one alignment. Okay, so I will just go with the center tradition. Okay, so your name, comma space, your center number is AN017, comma space, candidate number is 2024, and I'm going to click here, delete, click here, delete, and I'll close my header and footer. Okay, save this document in your work area as evidence, followed by your candidate number. So that simply means I'll probably just do this, copy this. Okay, come here, file, save as, browse, and then save it here. Paste this here, paste, remove this, and put your candidate number 2024. Now you're saving it as what? As in your save this document. So it's not going to be a generic file. So I'm going to save it as a Word document, and I'm going to click on save. Okay, and then yes, so right here we have this. Okay, so that is done. Okay, you will need this evidence document during the exam to take screenshots when required. So I'm going to scroll down to databases quickly. I'm going to scroll down to databases. Okay, database. Date must be imported in the format DMY, which means what? The day, month, and the year. So that's what we're importing it as. Now, let's look at this database. When we talk about a database, it is an organized collection of data. Okay, so it simply means that they store and retrieve data in a structured way. Okay, so it includes the data to be stored and the links between the data items. Okay, that's why we have the fields, we have the records, we have the file, and of course the field is a single item of data. The record is a collection of field. The file again is an organized collection of record. And if you see a table here, you see a field name, you see the records, and of course the fields. So this is very important. All right, so let's go ahead. All right, using these field names and data type, I said let's start with this. Using database software. Now, according to chapter 13, the recommended software, 13 is layout, the recommended software for databases is the Microsoft Access. Okay, so using database software, import the file n2402.csv as a new table. Now, it is important to know, let me just scroll down to this, and then we can probably start with this. it's important to know that the first thing you do is to create a database. That's the first thing you do before you import your table. Okay, before you import your table, you have to first of all create a database. Very important. Create the database. That's the first thing you do. You have to create the database. Okay, so how do we create the database? So to create it, there are various ways we can do to create it. We can come here to new and then click on Microsoft Access Database. And I'll probably show you the two methods, and then let me show you the other methods, and then we can do that. So here you go to Access. Okay, Access here. And then come here to blank database. Then you choose the folder on which the database is going to be stored. Okay, so once you choose where the database is going to be stored, you give a name to it. Okay, so let's do this. So we'll see this. Let's do this quickly because I want to show you the two methods. Okay, and then the name for it is just Ajiro ND1. And I'll click on OK. Now you see this where it's going to be saved, and then you click on create. When you use this method, it's going to create a default table for you, table 1 that you need to close. So this is way to create a database. Now let's look at the other method. So if I refresh, I will have this here. The other method here is I can right click, go to new, go to Microsoft Access, and then type Ajiro ND DB. Okay, so this will not create a default table for you, and they are both the same. Okay, so I can always click this and remove this, and then I'll open this. Okay, so it's important to enable content because some content have been disabled. Okay, so done. So now we've done this, we need to now import this. This is seen as a generic file. Okay, so it is a generic text file. That simply means the CSV means comma separated values. Okay, so it simply means that we need to import it. So it's seen as what? As an external data. So I'll come to new data source from file and I'll click on text file. And then I'm going to browse for it. Now take note, the first one we're importing is seen as what? Into a new table. So I'll browse for it. Come here. 2024, October, November, 02. Okay, so let's look at the file. N2402 students. Okay, so I'll click here and I'll click on what? Open. And I'll click on what? Okay. So at this point, it is seen as what? A delimited. Because that's what a CSV is. Comma separated value is a delimited, right? The delimiter is separated with a comma, and each values, each record, right? Each particular value in this field, right, is separated with a comma. So I'm going to click on next. And because the delimiter is a comma, it would put them into their respective fields. It is important to understand that the first rule, you have to check the first rule to contain field names. And then I'll click on next. Are we skipping any field? Let's look at it. Using these field names and data types. So we're not skipping any field name. So I'll come to next and then I'll click on advanced. Right here, the code page is Windows. Why? Because we're using the Windows operating system. If you're using the Mac operating system, you can use that and you will work with that. And we're not using a Dix operating system, so we choose this to what? The Western European what? Windows. This is why we are choosing Windows. And you have we have it right here in my slide. You will see the whole process here when we are importing. And then you see that here we're changing this from this to what? Windows. So ensure the code page is set to Western Europeans and the date order is in what? DMY, which is date, month, and year. Okay. Hope we're having a good time. All right. So date, month, and year. Okay, so now let's assign this. Now, when it comes to text, for access, we see it as what? A short text. So course code to nationality is seen as what? A short text. Is that what we have there? Could be, okay, that's fine, short text. Then we have DOB, which is date with time. I'll probably put this here. And of course, this is the format. This is how we need to display it. So we need to do a design view. We have the roll number and telephone. Roll number and telephone. So this will be changed to short text. Okay. Age October 24 is seen as what? Okay, a long integer, not, yeah, so long integer. Email is seen as what? A short text. So this is, I think basically what we just changed was just the telephone number, basically right here. So I'm going to click on OK. Now, what's the primary key? Roll number as a primary key. So I'll come here to choose my primary key and I'll choose what? The roll number. Now, look at this. Let's look at this quickly. Now, it's important to understand that when we talk about the primary key right here, right? Primary key is used, is the key field that holds unique data. It simply means that no two records are the same in this field. None. So they are used to identify that record, right? It simply means that, yeah, there's some tables that can have one or more foreign keys, because foreign key simply means is a primary key in another table. That's what it is. Okay. All right. So the row number here. Now click on next. Now you can choose to put a name that you want to assign this table, but the reason why I always leave it the way it is because it's easier that way with the papers and everything. But you can choose to say, okay, this can be TLB table, and it will still work. Okay. All right. So I'll click on finish, and I'll close. Okay, I'm going to open this here. Click here, double click to ensure everything is showing. Okay, so double click, and I'm going to save, and then I'll switch to design view. And why am I going to design view? I'm going to design view because this is one thing I need to do here, the DOB, which goes in this format. So DOB here, so DOB is DD dash MM dash YY. Okay, so that's the format it needs to go. I'm going to save it, right? And let's go to the datasheet view. So this is the format it has. Okay, then what else again? They said age October 24, so it's integer already, so no need to make any modifications to it. So I hope everything is showing well. So I'm going to save this. Okay, so what's the next thing? They said place, what step? This is step 14. They said place in your evidence document a screenshot showing the field names, data types, and primary key used in the table. Okay, so let's do that. So I will switch to my design view, and then right here I will take, because I'm using the front-end inch, I'll probably do show tabs only so I can take everything in one sitting. Okay, so I'm going to go to my snipping tool. I'll open it, click on new, and I'll take this. Okay, so step 14. Okay, all right, so I'm going to paste this here. Okay, so I'm going to save this. All right, now the next thing is import the field. Still step 14. Import the field as a new table in your database N2402 degrees. Okay, so I'll come here, I'll save this, and I'll close this. External data, new data source from file, text file, browse. Remember, it's going to be into a new table, browse, just to be sure, 2402 degrees, open. It's seen as a new table. We're not appending anything. Okay, delimited, next. Because the delimiter is a comma, first row contain field name, very important. Next, are we skipping any field? We're not skipping any field. Okay, so I'm going to click on next. Choose your primary key. What primary key am I choosing? But before I choose my primary key, let me go to the code page, Windows, DMY, and let's see, faculty code to degree type is short text. Level is long integer. Okay, so degree code to subject is short text. Degree code to subject is short text. Duration is double. Okay, because of the decimal place. Now look at this. You're wondering, sorry, Gyro, please help us out. Now this is data types. The types of data actually go into a field. So we have the alphanumeric. In Access, this is called a text field. We have the Boolean, which is seen as yes or no in Access. We have the numeric, and we have different types of numeric, which is integer. And in Access, we use what? Long integer. We have the decimal, which in Access, we see it as what? Double. We have currency. Okay, we have the currency field. We have date with time. So look at this. Let's go back to this. So this has its decimal place. That's why we're using what? Double. Work experience is Boolean, and we need to display it as what? Yes or no. So I'll do that. Okay, so I think what we just changed here, levels, um, duration, double. I think everything is fairly okay. So I'll click on OK. And what's the primary key here? Subject code. Subject code. Come here and then choose subject code. Okay, so you can actually see that. Okay, so I'll click on next. Again, you can put a table degree, or you can just leave it the way it is. That's still TBL. Okay, I'll click on finish, close, and then I'll open this and show everything is showing. Click here to select all, then double click to ensure everything is showing, and I'm going to save this. Okay, so now the next thing is things we want to do here. So let's switch to let's look at this. Okay, duration. So click on design view. Now let's work on this here. Now, for us to be able to have one decimal place, now look at this. Everything here, not all of them has, for the duration, not all of them has one decimal place. Some have one, some have none. Okay, so for us to enforce that every value in this field have one decimal place, we simply have to what? Standardize it. So that means right here, under duration, I'll come here to the format, switch this to what? Standard. Decimal place is going to be what? 1. And I'm going to save my work. Okay. And right here, they said it should display yes or no, not a checkbox. So come here, under the lookup, change it from the checkbox to what? Text box. And then when we save this our work and then go to datasheet view, this is what we have. So now all of them has what? One decimal places, and it's showing yes or no. Hope we're having a good time. Okay. And we're learning as well. Very important that we learn. Okay. All right. So let's do that. Let me switch here to this. Good. Some things you need to ensure everything is showing, right? So some you have to do manually. Okay. So this is 55. Save. So let's look at this. They said, place in your evidence document a screenshot showing the field names, data types, and primary key used in the table. So let's do this. So I'm going to switch to design view, and I'm going to take the screenshot. Okay. So I'm going to go to my snipping to click on new and then include the table name. It's very important you include the table name. Okay. So I have this. So this is step 14 as well. So come here, step 14, right? And then I'll paste it here. Okay. Step 15, create a one-to-many relationship. So now it's time for us to create relationship. I'm going to save this and I'm going to close this. Now, look at this. Now, when it comes to, let's scroll down here a bit. Let's look at relationships. When it comes to relationship, we are looking at the key fields. So the key fields is what helps us to create our relationships, creating a relational database. Now, so it simply means that we're using a key field. So the window shows the link between the fields in both of the table. The bottom of the windows display the type of relationship that you have created. A screenshot of this window taken with or snippet to will copy this into the clipboard, and then we can paste it to our relationship. So this is the whole process in which you need to create your relationship. Okay. A lot, and you're like, okay, do you have a private tuition? Don't you have? Do you have? And yes, Ajiro Tech do have a private tuition. So by my right, you can see that we have for the EdExcel and Cambridge IGCSE, and yes, we do have for all subjects. Okay, all subjects. Okay, the popular ones that's always been in demand is mathematics, English language as a second language. Okay, we have physics, we have biology, we have chemistry, and we have um, you know the flagship, which is ICT, just here and there. We also have business studies. So if you're interested for a private tuition, I think all you have to do is send an email to the sales team at ajirotech@gmail.com, and they would reply to you, talk about your time zone, talk about, and the fee is really quite affordable. Really, it's really quite affordable. It's when you look at it across other tutoring service, I think this is the one that's quite affordable, and you get the very best of service. We also have for the E levels as well, and also for the EdExcel. So we have for the Cambridge E levels and EdExcel E levels. Okay, and we have also across the subject mathematics, which is usually the hot cake when it comes to E level, mathematics and chemistry, and then biology. These are usually one of the ones we have in demand always, all the time, even physics, for E level. So all you have to do, if you're watching this right now and you are interested for a private tuition, then you can do yourself a solid, okay, and send an email to the sales team at ajiro@gmail.com, and they'll reply to you. And the good news about this is what I've discussed with the sales team is we've tried as much as possible to see how we can subsidize the amount according to countries, so it doesn't really look very, very heavy. Okay, so this is really important. Yes, we do charge in pounds, but again, we try to be as much as possible considerate to your countries, and we don't just skyrocket the price. No, because at the end of the day, we know how it feels, and we really want you to actually get the best of service, and again, be able to afford it from the comfort of your home. So again, Ajiro Tech private tuition is currently ongoing. You can enroll yourself for the IGCSE, and then for the E levels. Again, for the IGCSEs, these are the subjects, and for the E levels, these are also the subjects. So again, what are you waiting for? Just send an email to the system. If you're an IGCSE student preparing for IGCSE, if you're watching this in 2025, when this is in 2026, when this is 2027, we're currently ongoing, and this is actually a good time for you to actually explore, and then get it tailored to your own needs. So trust me, you don't want to miss out. So I'm going to go to database 2. That's the first thing right here. See, select database 2, locate the relationship section, and the database to relationship, and then you bring all of them here. Whether your table is like this or like this, it's the same thing. You can hold your control to just add both of them together, and then ensure each of them is properly showing. Okay, sorry. Okay. Now they said what? They said create a one-to-many relationship between the subject code, okay, and what? In the first degree, in the degree table and the course code in the student table. So subject code with what? The course code, subject and course. And this is going to see as what? A one-to-many relationship. Okay, so the subject code and the course code. Please say evidence document is screenshot showing the one-to-many relationship. So I'm going to create this and then come here and then I can take the screenshot. Okay, so I'll come here, click on new, and I'll take what? The screenshot. Okay, so click on okay. Now this is what step 15. Step 15. So come here, hit on enter, and I'm going to paste this. Now this here is showing the relationship type, which is one-to-many. However, if you take only the screenshot, it can still be marked because they can be able to see that it has the one-to-many. Okay, so whichever one you want to do. So please don't forget to save your table. So I'm going to click on save. Okay, I'm going to save it and then I'm going to close it. So now if we look at the student, the degree, we will see that for each of the degree or for each of the subject code, for each of the subject, we have the courses. Okay, so for each of the subjects, right, we have the courses. Um, these are the names of the student for the course. Okay, these are the name for the students for the course. Okay, so you see here the name, first name for each of them. So if you go on here, you see that. So for each of the courses, right, which is agriculture environment, these are all the students. For business school, right, you have this here. So essentially, that is how the relationship are created, right? Because here you have the primary key to the foreign key makes it one-to-many. Primary key to primary key makes it one-to-one. You need to know that. So for the subjects or they are doing, these are the students offering it. Okay. So we have ecology and conservation, and this is it right here. So I'm going to save and I'm going to close. Okay. Step 16. Using fields from both tables, produce a tabular report. Now, this is very important because for us to be able to produce a report, I have it right here in the slide. Okay, no, there's forms. This slide is rich. Okay, so um, okay, so for us to be able to produce a report, we have to um, create a query, and we create a query when we search the data in Access, and we use a query. So it allows you to select a subset of your data stored in your table, and each query is created, saved, and can be used later again. Okay, so this is very important. So we can use the query wizard and we can use what? The query design for this. Okay, so you don't just jump to producing a tabular report. You have to first of all create a query. Very important. Now look at this. Look at this. Now, how do we know which is our query? It is very important. Now, when it comes to, I'll probably use yellow for query. When it comes to this is seen as a query. We need to use show only these fields as our query. The rest, okay, the rest is what? A report. So that simply means that everything here is going to be what? In the report. Why this is going to be in the query. This is how you section it. It's very important. This is how you section this. Okay, so let's go ahead with this. Okay, so now I have my create and I can use the query wizard or you can use the query design. I'll probably just use the query wizard, right? So query wizard, a simple query. Now look at it. They said from both tables, keywords here, from both tables. So let's do that. So we have, so what do we have from both tables? We have first name, last name. So I have, that's for student. I'll switch to student. So I have the first name, last name. You can double click on it, use this to move them one by one or move all together. We have date of birth, double click on it. And then you have what? Telephone, move it here. And then you have what? Age, this, okay. And then you have duration. So duration is going to be the degree, okay. Then you have what? Degree code. Now, if you have not created the relationship, you'll not be able to do this. Subject and work experience. So this is what we have. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So next, details. Next. Now the next thing you need to do is very important, is the fact that the name of your report should also be the name of the query. Include only the title. So I'm going to copy this, copy, and then this is going to be the name. Now, for some reason, if it doesn't work for you, probably showing you an error, you can just do hi or hello and then come here to actually rename it. So I'm going to click on finish, right? So for some reason, if it's not saving, you can just come here, right click on it, click on rename, and then you do that. Okay, I'm going to do this to ensure everything is showing well. And I'm going to save my work. Now, they said, select the records where. Now we have the following kinds of criteria, right? We have the for subjects, include the text. So I'm going to give you all the criteria now. A lot, and you're like, okay, do you have a private tuition? Don't you have? Do you have? And yes, Ajiro Tech do have a private tuition. So by my right, you can see that we have for the Edexcel and Cambridge IGCSE, and yes, we do have for all subjects. Okay, all subjects. Okay, the popular ones that's always been in demand is mathematics, English language as a second language. Okay, we have physics, we have biology, we have chemistry, and we have the flagship, which is ICT, just here and there. We also have business studies. So if you're interested for a private tuition, I think all you have to do is send an email to the sales team at ajirotech@gmail.com, and they would reply to you, talk about your time zone, talk about and the fee is really quite affordable. It's really quite affordable. It's when you look at it across other tutoring service, I think this is the one that's quite affordable and you get the very best of service. We also have for the E-levels as well, and also for the Edexcel. So we have for the Cambridge E-levels and Edexcel E-levels. Okay, and we have also across the subject mathematics, which is usually the hot cake when it comes to E-level, mathematics and chemistry, and then biology. These are usually one of the ones we have in demand always, all the time, even physics, for E-level. So all you have to do, if you're watching this right now and you are interested for a private tuition, then you can do yourself a solid, okay, and send an email to the sales team at ajiro@gmail.com, and they'll reply to you. And the good news about this is, what I've discussed with the sales team is, we've tried as much as possible to see how we can subsidize the amount according to countries, so it doesn't really look very, very heavy. Okay, so so this is really important. Yes, we do charge in pounds, but again, we try to be as much as possible considerate to your countries, and we don't just skyrocket the price. No, because at the end of the day, we know how it feels, and we really want you to actually get the best of service, and again, be able to afford it from the comfort of your home. So again, Ajiro Tech private tuition is currently ongoing. You can enroll yourself for the IGCSE and then for the E levels. Again, for the IGCSEs, these are the subjects, and for the E levels, these are also the subjects. So again, what are you waiting for? Just send an email to the 16. If you're an IGCSE student preparing for IGCSE, if you're watching this in 2024, 5, when this in 2026, when this is 2027, we're currently ongoing, and this is actually a good time for you to actually explore and then get it tailored to your own needs. So trust me, you don't want to miss out. So we have these criteria here. So the first one we have is simply means equals to. We have later than, which is greater than this, earlier than, less than symbol, 2000, 200 and later, greater than equals to, 200 and earlier, less than equals to. We have or for this, we have and for this, we have not included, and we have include, which is asterisk, the command word asterisk, beginning with the command word asterisk, end with asterisk the command word. Between, we can have this or less than, um, greater than equals 200 and greater than equals to 200, whichever one you want to actually use. So this is very important. Okay. All right. So now let's look at this. So let's look at this right here. They said select the records where subject includes the text organic. So I want to tell you which is, tell me in the comment section which is it going to be. It's going to be this. Okay. All right. So it's going to be that. So subject includes the text organic. So I'm going to just copy this, and right here I'm going to switch to my design view, right? Or you can come here to home and always switch to design view as well. So I'll close this. Okay, subject includes the text organic. So that's asterisk, organic, asterisk, right? Let me close and let's see. No, don't change. Let me see. This is how many records? 623 records. It's important we're checking. That's the reason why I did that. I wanted to check how many records we have in total. Okay, so I'm design view, subject. So we have organic, asterisk, the command which is organic, and then asterisk, and I have this here. Query design, you run it. So what do we have here? We have 119 records. Then the next one is age October 24 is 25 or more. Let's go back to this. 25 or more, that is later, right? So 25 or more here for age. So I'll switch here to design view. So for age, okay, that is greater than equals to 25 for 25 or more. So I'm going to come here to query design. I think I can put this here real quick, and then I'll run it. So at the end of the day, I have how many records? I have 42 records. Okay, so that's like 2 pages. Okay, so please is important. Numbers of pages is usually 1 page or 2 page. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, so now I can come here to save my work. Okay, and then right here, now it's time for us to create the report. So that simply means that from here, I'm going to click on create, come here to report wizard, and then just move everything from this query because it needs to be in the same order. Okay, in the same order, and then click on next. Now they said in this order with data and labels displayed in full, do not group the data. So that means it's going to be an ungrouped data. This is an ungroup, this is group. You don't want to group it because they have different features. So next, what are we sorting by? They said sort the data into descending order of degree. Descending order of degree. Let me see, is it degree code? Yeah, degree code. Descending order. Yes, what else? An ascending order. An ascending order of what? Of age, that's October 24, and degree code, descending order and ascending order. Okay, next, what's the orientation? Has a page orientation of landscape. Okay, reports are what? Are tabular. Take note of that. Forms are columnar. Okay, has a page orientation of landscape. Okay, fit on a single page, fit a single page width and print on 2 page only. So they're even including this now, letting you know that, because one of the issues we've had is the fact that students they print on so many pages, right? I've seen students who are printing on 10 pages, 11 pages. I'm like, so it's 2 pages, 2 pages or 1 page or 1 page. Okay, at the very few, maybe 3 page. Okay, rare case 3 page, but usually on 2 pages only. So they're not helping you out to tell you that this is what you need to do. Okay, so I'm going to copy this, and then this is going to be my title of my report, and I'm going to preview the report. So I have the preview report here, and I can switch this to, I can use the design view, I can use the layout view, whichever one you want to use. So I'll close this. Matured student organic family display in a larger font size, fully visible. So right here, I'll come here, make it 26. Okay, right, centered within the margin at the top of the page. Now for you to do this, that is going to be centered within the margin at the top of the page, this is what you're going to do. So come here to put this here to the ending here, right, and then make it center. This is very important. You don't just adjust it like this. No, if you adjust it like this, it's not going to be center. So this is very important. Okay. Okay. Use a calculated control to display at the end of the report the age of the oldest students, from the age. But before we do this, let's arrange this in this order first. Before we go into all this, let's ensure we have the first name, last name, date of birth, telephone, everything in between. So again, how do we do this? Very important. So let's arrange. Okay, so I'll probably do this. So this is first name, so I'll probably do this here and then move this here together. You have to select both of them. Come here, adjust it, and then move this here. Okay, and then you can always move this here, right? Or you can come here to do whichever method you want to. You can come here to do this and then do this. There are so many ways to do it, so many ways, right? To actually do what you're looking for. So we have first name, last name, date of birth. So I can move this here and I can also move this here. So I think now we have some things to work with. So I can use my arrow key to adjust it if I want to. So again, there are so many ways to actually do this. Okay, so let's do this. I prefer all of them to be in the same alignment. So I can adjust this, make them in the same alignment. Okay, so what else? Telephone. Move this here. Okay, so what you can always undo. Good thing about the undo button, it's something you can always undo. It's good. Without Control Z, where are we going to win, right? Okay, hope we're having a good time. Yeah. All right. So we have telephone. We have age October. Duration. Okay. We have degree code. Subject. And then we have what? Work experience. So let's see how we can bring all this together, right? Remember, it's landscape, so let's see how we can fit all this in. It's always important to check that nothing is cutting off. I think this is fairly good. Okay, how about this? Let's check that nothing is cutting off. Yes, I think we can just bring this here a bit close. Okay, let's check this as well. Let's check this as well to ensure that nothing is cutting off. Yes, telephone. Okay, I think this is fine. So we can bring this close a bit. Let's check. Is it overlapping anything? No, it's not overlapping anything. So we can do this. Okay, so we can actually bring this here. Duration. Can bring this here. Degree. Okay, we can do this here. Then we can always bring this here for subject. And then we can check to ensure. Okay, you can see it's cut off. So we have to be very careful to ensure nothing is cut off. Let's see. Okay, I think we just need to adjust it a little bit. Okay, so I have this here. So work experience. Okay, so make this. Okay, so let's check. It's too close. Okay, probably put this here. Okay, I think everything is now fine, really, because nothing is cut off. It's important to always check. Okay. Okay, so it's important to always check this. All right. What's the next thing? They said use a calculated field to display at the end of the report only the age of the oldest students from the um, age October 2024 field. So again, it's important for you to learn, and it's right here in the slide to see how you can perform all that in the report when it gets to the report. Okay, the report is one of the last things I talked about, how you can sort data in the report, um, and then we look at how you can talk about maximum profit, um, how you can talk about count, average, um, to find the maximum, to find the minimum, right? So this is very important because maximum talks about the highest. And in this question, you're looking at, you see marks here. In this question, you're looking at what they said to find the age of the oldest student from this. So to do that, so click here, come here to calculated field. They said what? A calculated control. So report layer design right here. I will click on what? Marks. Okay. So come here. So this is it. Oldest student, 58. Okay. Age of the oldest student. Okay. So we have this. Has the label age of the oldest student fully visible to the left. So I'll come here, copy this. Then I will switch to my design view. Okay. And because there's some things I want to do here. Okay. So I'll come here to, okay, got it. Report design. And then right here on labels, I'm going to do this right here. And I'll paste it here, Control V. So I think I can probably just adjust this a little bit. So I have this format left. Okay. So I have the age of this. I think I can also do this as well. I think this would be good practice to just make my field to be bold. Of course, you won't be penalized for that. And I can also do that here as well. Okay. Okay, so here I can also make it bold and then black. And then I'll switch to my layout view and then come here Okay, I think I can also do that. Also make this bold as well, so I can have my, yeah, layout view. Okay, so bring this here. Okay, I think this is fine. So age of the audience student. Now it's important to copy age of the audience student fully visible. You type in, you have to type it exactly the way it is, to the left of this value. Okay, has your name, center number, and kindly number in the footer of the report, so it appears in the same position. Now we have the page footer and the page report. Now this is very important. Let's look at this. Now when we talk about the page footer, it will appear on the same position on every page. Report footer will only appear at the bottom of the report. Page header will appear at the top of every page, right? And the report header will only appear only in the first page. So this is very important. Okay, so it appears, so I'll probably do this here. They didn't give us any alignment really. So let's do this. So let's come here. It said, so it appears on every page. So I'll come here to report design, my labels, and type in my name, comma space, AN017, comma space 2024. And I'll come here, center, and then I'll make it bold. Okay, because this is, I did undo because it was overlapping, right? So because this is your name, it is important that it's clearly visible. So I'll probably do 16, but if your name is probably 14, 16, I want it to be very visible. Okay, so I'm going to come here to my print preview because I want to see how this is going to look out for me. So I think everything is fine. I don't think anything is cut off. I think everything looks fine. Okay, it's important that nothing is cut off. Very important. Now, one thing I want to talk about is the fact that if they say you have your name, stand number, account number in the footer only, then by all means you have to remove the page and the date. It's so important. Now this is one of two, so that is what they want. Okay, so I'm going to print this, save and print your report. So I'm going to print this, print Microsoft Print to PDF, yes, and come here to this right here, 2024 02. Right, so this is going to be, I think I can print it outside here. Good. So this is going to be print out report. I can just say report, database report. I don't know if it's a one yet, but I would see that. Okay, so I have this, and save your work, and by all means I can close. A lot, and you're like, okay, do you have a private tuition? Don't you have? Do you have? And yes, Ajiro Tech do have a private tuition. So by my right, you can see that we have for the EdExcel and Cambridge IGCSE, and yes, we do have for all subjects. Okay, all subjects. Okay, the popular ones that's always been in demand is mathematics, English language as a second language. Okay, we have physics, we have biology, we have chemistry, and we have the flagship, which is ICT, just here and there. We also have business studies. So if you're interested for a private tuition, I think all you have to do is send an email to the sales team at ajirotech@gmail.com, and they would reply to you, talk about your time zone, talk about and the fee is really quite affordable. Really, it's really quite affordable. It's when you look at it across other tutoring service, I think this is the one that's quite affordable, and you get the very best of service. We also have for the E levels as well. and also for the edXL. So we have for the Cambridge E-levels and edXL E-levels, okay? And we have also across the subject mathematics, which is usually the hot cake when it comes to E-level, mathematics and chemistry, and then biology. These are usually one of the ones we have in demand always, all the time, even physics, for E-level. So all you have to do, if you're watching this right now and you are interested for a private tuition, then you can do yourself a solid, okay, and send an email to the sales team at ajiro@gmail.com, and they'll reply to you. And the good news about this is, what I've discussed with the sales team is, we've tried as much as possible to see how we can subsidize the amount according to countries, so it doesn't really look very, very heavy. Okay, so this is really important. Yes, we do charge in pounds, but again, we try to be as much as possible considerate to your countries, and we don't just skyrocket the price. No, because at the end of the day, we know how it feels, and we really want you to actually get the best of service, and again, be able to afford it from the comfort of your home. So again, Ajiro Tech private tuition is currently ongoing. You can enroll yourself for the IGCSE and then for the E-levels. Again, for the IGCSEs, these are the subjects, and for the E-levels, these are also the subjects. So again, what are you waiting for? Just send an email to the sales team. If you're an IGCSE student preparing for IGCSE, if you're watching this in 2025, watching this in 2026, watching this in 2027, we're currently ongoing, and this is actually a good time for you to actually explore and then get it tailored to your own needs. So trust me, you don't want to miss out. All right, so let's do this. They said place your evidence document a screenshot showing database formula used to display the age of the oldest student. So I'll come here, switch to design view, and let's take that screenshot. So I'll come here and I'll extend this because I want them to see. You have to extend. Okay, so I'm going to take my screenshot, come here, new. I'll do this. Okay, so I'm going to come here. What step is this? This is step 16. Evidence document, step 16. Hit on enter. Then I'm going to paste this. Okay, come here to picture format. Increase this a bit. I think it's fine. Good. All right, so this is good. So I'm going to save it. And I'm going to close it. Save. It's fine. If I go here to print preview, it's still going to show. So that's fine. All right, the next one is, okay, you're now going to create a data entry form. This form will contain a field with a drop-down menu for the user to select an option from the list. Data from the selected option will be stored in a field in the student table. You're to create a columnar data entry form using selected field from the student table. This is very important. Okay, so now let's do this. Okay, very important. So let's do this. Now, when it comes to data entry form, can we learn? Let's learn. Look at this. My form is right here, so we can get the base of this. Let's produce a report. Good. So these are some of the forms right here I've created right here. So let's talk about this. And create a data entry form. Now, for us to be able to create a data entry form, of course, we go to the whole process with Form Wizard and we do all this, and it's important. Now, it's important to understand that data entry form may need editing to make it easier for different target audience to use. So that simply means that we use the design view, okay, and to be able to carry out some of these manipulations. However, it's important, for example, once you do this with your adding your various things from the form, um, from your form designs, you bringing them in as much as possible with your properties, and then you can add new fields to existing forms. You can always add new fields to existing forms. That simply means that if you come here, right here to design view, right, you can always add new fields. So right here, you probably see something like this, where you see you can add new fields, right? So under this, you can be able to add new fields to that. So it's important that we know this, and I probably will do that in this paper, and then this would all make sense. So this is very important that you learn how to create a form. Okay, so radio buttons and how you can use the radio buttons. So we have the combo buttons, the option buttons, and then once you do that, you should be able to what? Now this is very important. Now, most time the default choice could be no year group selected, and then you can always store this to be 0 right, for a no, right? You can always store this to be a 0. So this is very important. Okay, and then you can store this in that particular what field. Okay, you can always store this in that particular field. Okay, so let's look at this question. Let's say you're going to create a columnar data entry form using selected field from the student table. So create, and then we'll come here to form wizard. From the student table, the specific student table. Okay, include only the fields. So we have roll number, first name, last name, gender, date of birth, telephone, and email. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In this order, with data and labels displayed in full. So next, forms are columnar. Display one record at a time. Okay. So we're going to give this as a student data entry. Student data entry. Okay. Entry form. Okay. Finish. Save the form. Place your evidence document, a screenshot showing the form with a record from database displayed. So here they just want to see what we have created. Well, it's not like we're doing anything else. So we can just take the screenshot literally because they want to see if you've actually created it. So let's take a screenshot. So I'll come here, right here, new. Okay, so this is going to be what? Step 17. Okay, all right, that's fine. Okay, now the next one is import the file N2202 as a new table in your database. So let's do that. So we save this, close, external data, new data source from file, text file, as a new table, browse. Let me see, country codes, open. Okay, next, first to contain field names. Next, are we skipping anything? We're not skipping anything. Next, and this is going to be Windows. Already is already there in Windows for us. And primary key is the ISO code as the primary key. Next, okay, so we have this. So right here, select all. Okay, and then save and then close. On the form created in step 17, create a new control using a drop down, which lists each country, which lists each ISO from the country. Place this control between DOB and table field. So a new drop down which lists each ISO. Okay. So right here, I'll go to design view. This is going to be between what? DOB and telephone fields. So now we need to adjust this a bit. Okay, let's work with this. Okay, so I'm going to adjust this. Okay. All right. So I'll probably just make this to be right. Okay. And I would move this up for now. They said, well, this is going to what DOB and telephone field between DOB, form design, come here, you drop down. Okay, so combo box. Yeah, I want the combo box to get values from another table. Yes, for the country codes. So what are we putting? They said it's going to be what? ISO codes. So move this to selected field. Next. Do we want this sorted? Okay. Edit the drop down menu. Where I say place this control between this, I said edit the drop down menu so that the list display in ascending alphabetical order. Okay. So it's going to be in ascending alphabetical order. Okay. What else? The list displays unique values only. Next. The list displays unique values only. Now, the reason why it displays unique values only is the fact that this has been set as a primary key. And because the ISO code have been set as a primary key, right, you would expect that everything here is unique. So next, now they said what? Data entry is limited to only the ISO code listed. Yes, it's limited to it because it's a drop down. The ISO code selected is stored in nationality field in the student table. So come here, store this what in the what student nationality. So come here, store this in the nationality field. Okay, and then next. Now they said, what label would you like for your combo box? Label the new field to be country code. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it here. And then I'll click on finish. So now this is what we have. So I'll probably move this here. Yes. And then move this here, make it right. That means I have to adjust this to get what I want. Okay. And also move this, adjust this here as well. Okay. So I'll probably just move this here so we can get the very best. So I can come here, hold my control and adjust this here. Okay. So all this, just want to make my work good. Make it bold. Okay. So come here, layout view, come here, increase the font size to 26. Move this here. Then we can always adjust this. Okay. Good. So we have the data entry. We can always make this. Okay. So we can make this data entry. Okay, so we want to make this, I'll go to my design view. I want to make everything to have the same alignment. Okay, so I'm going to make this to have the same alignment. And then, so if I come here to my layout view, okay, I can do this here as well. Good, so they have the same alignment. Okay, I want to arrange them. Let me arrange them because I want them to be not to be clustered with each other. Put some spaces between them. Okay. Okay, so I have this. Okay, so I will come here to my layout view. I think this looks good. So what else? They said, place in your evidence document screenshot showing the drop down menu list, the drop down menu label with the text fully visible, the country, the data entry control, so the only unique values are listed, data entry controls to limit data entry to the list options, the control applied to save the selected option in the controls applied to save the selected option in the nationality field of the student table. Okay, so I'm going to come here to my form view, and then I have this. Okay, I can take this. So this is going to be this. Okay, I can. So it's going to be between the DOB. I don't want it to cover anything. It's going to be between the DOB and this. So, all right. So I'm going to take the screenshot. I'll take my screenshot here. Um, take the first one. I'll also take again because I want them to show this. So this is going to be what? Step 18. Okay, step 18. I'm going to paste this. This is the first one. Okay, I'm going to reduce this, and then I want everybody to see it. Reduce this a bit. Okay, I think that's fine. That's the first one. Reduce it a bit, and then take the other one with this, showing this. Okay, so come here, take the screenshot. Okay, so I'll probably do this. Use the keyboard shortcut to take this keyboard shortcut. Okay, so I'll probably do this so that everything can be seen as well. Okay. Then place this here. Come here, reduce this a bit. And I'll probably move this to the side. Wrap text to, and then move this. Now I'll probably do text behind text. And the reason why I'm doing this is so that I can move this side by side. Okay, side by side. This is 9. So I can probably make this 8.4. And then I'll make this 8.4 as well. Okay. So 8.4. So now the examiners can't see both of them. Okay. So they said drop down menu list. Drop down menu list with text fully visible. So they can see all the text fully visible. I listed the data entry control to limit data entry option, so they can see the control to limit, the control applied to save, the control applied to save the selected option in nationality field. So I will come here to my design view, right? Go to property sheet. Sorry, I was in DOB nationality. Okay, so we have this showing. They said what? We should what? controls apply to save the selected option in the nationality field of the student table. So they want to see this. This is what they want to see. They want to see the control. Look at it. The control apply to save. They want to see this. So I'll probably do this here. Can you see this? This is the raw source for it because they want to see this. It's very important that they want to see this. So I'm going to take the screenshot here as well. So I'm taking 3 screenshots here. So this is what I want so they can see this. Good. So now I'll come here. This is step 18. Still step 18. And I'll do this here. Enter. Probably bring this down and then right click and then paste. Okay, so this is part of it. Okay, so this is part of it. Okay, so now they can see everything in terms of all this criteria because it's very important. Yes, drop down list is there with fully text visible, control limiting which the lists are listed, the control to limit data entry to the list option, but it is imperative that the selected option in national, they said to save the selected option in nationality field of the student that they can also see it as well. So they can see that this is stored in the nationality. It's very important. Okay, very important. Okay, so I'm going to close this and save and switch to my form view. Hope we're having a good time. Okay, so use the form edited in step 18 to add the following details. So let's add these details. Okay, so here they didn't ask us for anything interactive, so we'll just work with this. Literally, they didn't ask for anything interactive, so we'll just work with this. So let's do that. So I'm going to split my screen. Permit me to do that. And then come here to add this. Okay, so I'm going to add the blank records. Okay, so here I have TU 0009. The first name is Carlos. And then I have Diaz. I have male. Date of birth is 16 February 00. For some reason that looks weird. Country code is Spain. E, because it's unique, so I'll look for E. Okay. Telephone number is 077 00 900 828. So 700 900 828. The email is Carlos. Please type it exactly the way it is. Carlos Diaz. Then we have at tawara.ec. So Carlos _ Diaz at tawara.ec. Okay. Print in your evidence document a screenshot of the form with the records displayed in full. So I think let me maximize this and then I'll do this as well. So I'm going to take a screenshot. Okay. All right. So I have this here. So let me take the screenshot. Okay. So I have this. And I'm going to take my screenshot. New. I'm going to do this. Okay. So this is going to what? Step 19. Okay. So I'm going to paste this. Okay. So I can reduce this to 10. I think 10 is fine. Okay. I think 10 is fine. Okay. So I'm going to save my work. So there we have it. We are done with database. I think is Of course, the slide is rich in materials to just help you through the whole process. Okay, and of course, these buttons are for already added by Access. We've talked about this. It's just, I think the only complicated part was this one. Yes, this one, because again, you need to add, you need to show a screenshot. They need to see it, needs to be present in your screenshot. And the fact that this can be confusing as well, because once you make this a primary key, this is unique and is limited only to this. You need to know that. And of course, you have to display it in alphabetical order. They want to see that. That's why in your screenshot, when we took this, they could see that this is what in alphabetical order, and that is fine. That is what they want to see. Okay, so this is very important, and both of them. And but I think all in all, it's been country code in the evidence document is there. Type it exactly the way it is. So I think it's been a fairly simple process. But again, I urge you to go through it keenly and then learn from it. This is very important. So learn from it. Okay, so we're done with this. I'm going to save my work and save my form and then close it. Thank you very much. And I'll see you in our next one. Bye for now.